When we visit the jinja, we put osaisen into saisen bako. Please keep this custom when you participate our ceremony, whether remotely or in person. Your support allows us to continue holding ceremonies and other events. The QR code you are watching is PayPal Giving Fund, so there are no fees to PayPal when donating this way. Thank you for your support. Are you aware of the Amazon Smile program? We are registered for Amazon Smile. By selecting us as your charity organization, whenever you shop at Amazon, 0.5% of the purchase price will be donated to us. It's important to pass along eco-conscious traditions to the next generation. Our video ceremonies are one way to learn about how to pay our respects and create a feeling of appreciation of nature. But these are not watch and then forget activities. Appreciating nature should be a part of our everyday lives. Joining our ceremonies helps create a feeling of gratitude to nature and reset us back to the original pure state by removing the kegare that occurs from living. This is a spiritual equivalent to cleaning and dusting your home. Your support allows us to continue holding ceremonies and other events. Please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There are extra videos available for ShintoInari Kai members and Patreon supporters. Let me introduce the etiquette when you join the ceremony. Be sure to change into your day's clothes and tidy yourself. Perform temizu before we enter the ceremony site or approach Kami-sama. Remove your hats, caps, sunglasses. As in a movie theater, silence or turn off cell phones. Refrain from eating or drinking during the ceremony. Please compose yourself as if you are meeting someone very important in a formal situation, and you are standing on the stage where everyone is looking at you. Because you are meeting Kami-sama, nature spirits. Let me explain what is temizu. Temizu is the one kind of purification for your body and spirit. It is an important way to show respect to Kami-sama. At the shrine or event location, we have a temizuya, which has a base of water, dipper, and drain area or bucket. At home, just use running tap water. Rinse your left hand, then rinse your right hand without touching anything. Cup your left hand and pour some water in it. Then put the water into your mouth from your hand. Let the water run out of your mouth into the sink. Then rinse your left hand and close the faucet. Take a moment to clear your mind and level your spirit. Face toward Los Angeles. Please support us by donating osaisen. The ceremony will begin shortly. Thank you for your patience. Konbanwa. Hello, I'm Izumi Hasegawa, the head priest of the Shinto Shrine of Shusse Inari in America. This evening, we will hold Earth Day ceremony Dear Earth 2022. In the ceremony, we invited 雨のみなか主の神、高み結びの神、神結びの神 to the ceremony where we show our respect, gratitude, and renew our commitment to our planet. Tonight's closing talk is special and open to the public. We have a very special guest speaker, Max Lerner-san. Max Lerner-san is the director of the New York City Parks Emerging Technologies team and executive director of Grow Externships. He will talk about the global potential of green jobs and sustainable development. Tonight's ceremony and closing talk is open to everyone, so please stay and watch. We are raising funds to open a Shinto shrine, which will also function as a community center. Please get involved in our shrine building project. Details are on the website. The new shrine will hold various events, both Shinto and community related, plus demonstration of how to live a nature-friendly lifestyle. The mobile shrine, we can visit beaches and mountains to hold the eco-conscious events. We would love to visit your town to hold Earth Day ceremony next year by the mobile shrine if we made our dream come true. Thank you for joining our Dear Earth 2022. Okay, just before we start, here are some basic Shinto shrine etiquette pointers. You did perform temizu, right? Also, please don't wear hats, caps, sunglasses, and silence or turn off your cell phone. Also, refrain from drinking or eating during the ceremony. When you are participating in a Shinto ceremony, you should compose yourself as if you are meeting someone very important in a formal situation where you are on stage and everyone is looking at you. Please face towards Los Angeles. If it is hard for you to stand due to health issues, it is okay to remain seated whenever the instructions are to stand. If possible, please perform the actions such as bows as if you are standing. Please follow the tradition of making osaisen donations. Your contributions make our ceremonies possible and make our dreams come true. We are working towards building a Shinto shrine in Los Angeles as a community center where we can hold various events. If we achieve our dreams, then our ceremonies can be live streamed and recorded from the perspective of our participants, like we did during last year's June Tsukinami-sai and Toya-sai. The suggested minimum osaisen is $5. There is a QR code for your convenience. Thank you for your support. ありがとうございます。We would like to let you know that we have several fantastic volunteers for running our shrine. Sora Suzukaze-san has been helping to run our YouTube channel. Sylvia Kirinen-san helped with email distribution, social media posting. Asa Melgoza-san has been helping with website development. Jerry Jorgensen-san helped with English and book publishing related work. And Max Lerner-san, who is our special guest for tonight, closing talk presentation. He will talk about the global potential of green jobs and sustainable development. ありがとうございます for their contribution. Please give them a 拍手. This year, we started our fundraising project to build a Shinto shrine, which will additionally be used as a community center. Also, we are trying to create a mobile Shinto shrine. The flyer is on the screen now. When we have a shrine building, we can live stream Shinto ceremony as a participant's perspective and hold additional ceremonies, gokito in person, and various classes such as Miko Shrine Maiden class, Kagura class, Shinto etiquette class, Japanese class, and anime and manga exhibition, and more. Even just a rental space is a good start. If you or someone you know has a building or a rental that can be donated, please contact us. When we have a mobile Shinto shrine, we can visit your town to hold the Shinto ceremonies and classes. We will be able to hold various events at the beaches or mountains to introduce people to a nature-friendly lifestyle. If we made our dream come true, we can hold the Earth Day ceremony next year at your town. In order to make this dream come true, we need your huge support. For details, please visit our website ShintoInari.org. Alright, let's begin 2022's Earth Day ceremony, Dear Earth 2022 地球感謝の祭り。主罰、ピューリフィケーション。お供え物と参列者の汚れを払うために、お祓いの神様に汚れを払う祈願の歌を読み、大草を振って汚れを払います。読んでいる間、および払われている間は、起立して頭をお下げください。To purify the offerings and participants, the priest recites a prayer and waves a purification wand. While the priest is reciting the prayer to the spirit of purification, 神様、please stand up, perform a medium bow, and hold a bow. The priest will wave the purification wand over the participants 4 times, once for each of the cardinal directions. When your turn comes, please stand up, perform a shallow bow, and hold a bow. Your turn depends on your directions from the shrine, which is located on Los Angeles. If you are located north of Los Angeles, then you will stand up and bow in the direction of Los Angeles, while the priest waves the purification wand facing north. Please stand up and perform a medium bow and hold a bow. かけまくも賢きいざなぎの狼つくしのひむかの立花の音のあはに腹に急ぎ腹へ玉石時になりませる腹へとの狼たちもろもろのまがごと積みけがれあらんおば。腹へたまい清めたまえと申すことを聞こしめせと。かしこみかしこみも申す。 Please be seated. I will now wave the onusa to the nose. Please stand up and perform a shallow bow and a Hoda bow. Please be seated. I will now wave the onusa to the east. Please stand up and perform a shallow bow and a Hoda bow. Please be seated. I will now wave the onusa to the south. Please stand up and perform shallow bow and a Hoda bow. Please be seated. I will now wave the onusa to the west. Please stand up and perform shallow bow and a Hoda bow. Please be seated.行進の儀 Inviting Nature Spirits 最上に雨の皆主の神、高み結びの神、神結びの神をお迎えします。神主が神様をお迎えする歌を歌っている間は起立して頭を深く下げます。The priest invites 神様 Nature Spirits 雨の皆主の神、高み結びの神、神結びの神 to the ceremony. While the priest is singing, please stand up, perform a deep bow and a Hoda bow. Please stand up and perform a deep bow and a Hoda bow. Please be seated. Kensden, Presentation of the Offerings 神様にお供え物を捧げます。Presentation of the Offering to 神様 Nature Spirits 祝と創造 Prayers 増神柱の狼雨のみなか主の神高み結びの神神結びの神に自然が豊かな惑星地球を作られたことに感謝し自然破壊をしてきたことを悔やんで環境を守る運動を進める決心をしたことを伝える祝詞を読み上げます。読んでいる間は起立して頭を下げください。A prayer to 神様 Nature Spirit is read. The prayer is a poem showing gratitude for the natural wonders found on planet. Our regret to ignore rather than cherish this planet and our commitment to protect the planet. Please stand up, perform a medium bow and hold a bow while the priest is reading the prayer. Please stand up and perform a medium bow and hold a bow. かけまくも賢き、雨のみなか主の神、高み結びの神、神結びの神のお前に、かしこみもさく。今し狼たちが作りたまえる地球の男は、水の惑星と称されるごとく、狼たちの噛む計りによりて、絶えなる水に満ち溢れ、それが水は増加の妙にして、神羅万象万物を生み出し、豊かなる自然となれり、狼たちのかかる恩寵に、東西を問わずもろ人らあまねくいやび立てまつる様を、うずないきこ示したまえ。かかれども時移りこと去りて、世の人々狼たちのおもんばかりをうとび立てまつりて、自然環境を荒々しく底いぬる、さかしらなる人々を生じぬ。しかるに今し頃、それが日を悟り、アースデーと名付けたる、自然環境を守る運動を広げ、豊けき地球環境を取り戻さんとす。狼たちにましましては、その心をめぐしとみそなわし、うずないたまいて、今より先これなる動きにありて、人の輪が広がり、人々手を携え、力を合わせ、豊かなる自然をよみがえさせたまい。今さらにこれが運動をして、いや進めさせたまえと、かしこみも申す。Please be seated. 玉串拝礼 Ritualistic Offering 神様への感謝の気持ち、決意、祈願を込めた玉串を捧げ拝礼します。参列者は代表者に合わせて自席にて起立して拝礼します。We solemnly offer the tamagushi with our gratitude, wishes, and determination to Kami-sama, nature spirits. While your representative is offering tamagushi, please stand up and imagine holding, rotating, and placing the tamagushi, and in your heart give a message of gratitude and your wishes and determination to improve yourself to Kami-sama, the nature spirits. Then perform 2 deep bows, 2 claps, and the final deep bow synchronized with your representative. Our super volunteer, Sora, is your representative tonight. I will guide you through each step of this ritual. At first, please offer tamagushi. Please stand up, and I'm handing tamagushi to Sora. And he is approaching to altar. And rotate tamagushi and holding tamagushi both hands. Please send message to nature spirits in your heart. And rotating tamagushi and place tamagushi on the table. Please synchronize him. First deep bow, 3, 2, 1, deep bow. And second deep bow, 3, 2, 1, deep bow. Then first clap, 3, 2, 1. And second clap, 3, 2, 1. And one last time deep bow, 3, 2, 1, deep bow. Please be seated. Tessen, removal of the offerings. 神様へのお供え物を下げます。Removal of the offerings to 神様 nature spirits. 昇進の儀 Sing of Nature Spirits 最上から雨の皆か主の神、高み結びの神、神結びの神を見送りします。神様をお見送りする歌を歌っている間は起立して頭を下げます。The priests sing of 神様 Nature Spirits 雨の皆か主の神、高み結びの神、神結びの神 to the ceremony. While the priest is singing, please stand up, perform a medium bow, and hold a bow. Please stand up and perform deep bow and hold a bow. Please be seated. Closing the ceremony. Dear Earth 2022にご参列いただきありがとうございました。神主がご挨拶をします。Thank you for your participation. I will now address the participants. Our planet is facing a very critical time because we have forgotten some very important things, such as paying respect and showing gratitude to this planet, Mother Nature. Our ancestors paid their respects generation after generation. Now is the time to restart that lifestyle. This planet let us live. We need to remember that. Let's take some actions to pay our respect to this planet. I know changing lifestyle is really hard, and carrying out a really big effort is challenging. But we can start with a very small thing. Many people doing some small things together makes a big impact. This weekend, let's plant something at your patio, room, and or roof. I planted basil, okra, eggplant, and 4 kinds of beans. When we harvest, we feel gratitude to the nature spirits for bringing about the harvest. Then we offer the harvest to the nature spirits before consuming. How can we make a rooftop garden? Our special guest speaker, Max Lerner-san, will give you the idea in the closing talk presentation. He works at the New York City Park, and he will introduce one of their sustainable projects, a rooftop garden. He is now visiting Shimane, where is my hometown and our parents' shrine is located. So it's I guess it's you guys are ready to see presentation. So I guess we need some moment to get ready to connect to the Max-san in Shimane. So let's give us a little bit moment.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Happy Earth Day. It's a pleasure to be here. So, I really appreciate the pleasure of being part of this stream. I met Izumi many years ago, and we have worked on a number of projects since, and it's a wonderful opportunity to share this special day and to talk a little bit about my work and how that can relate to your lives, how you can find small ways to give back to the earth, to help the environment, what that might mean in your day to day life, and what that might mean potentially in a job context if you're looking to get more involved. As Izumi said, I work for the New York City Parks Department, though I also do a lot of work around the world, including in Sanen, in Shimane, in Totori, doing work with farmers, doing work to take care of the land, doing work in cities, such as the one pictured on screen, New York, to make them more sustainable. It takes a lot of people to do this work. It's hard work, but it's important, and it should not be looked at as a chore, but rather part of our daily lives. We want to cultivate a good relationship with the earth. Our responsibility to take care of the planet shouldn't be a bother or something that we don't think about frequently, an afterthought. It should be something that blends nicely with our day-to-day lives. And there's many ways that that can happen, but I'll talk a little bit about my professional work and how we make New York City, the concrete jungle, more sustainable. To talk a little bit about the Parks Department, which is the group I do a lot of my work under in New York, the Parks Department is very, very big. It is the largest landowner in New York City. So maybe even if you haven't been to New York, maybe you're familiar with Central Park or Prospect Park, or this is Brooklyn Bridge Park photographed. They take care of a lot of rec centers, pools, playgrounds, restrooms, lots and lots of different spaces, and they're spread out all across New York City. So it's a really good organization to radically change New York to make sure that it is stewarding the environment in a sustainable and resilient manner. This is a series of laws and policies that have come out over the years in New York. And even if you are not in New York, there are likely laws like these near you. There's the UN, the United Nations has sustainable development goals for the whole world that are similar to these laws and policies that help people come to terms with taking care of the environment, helping them to get tax incentives, helping to give them grants, helping to fund putting solar panels on your buildings, putting green roofs on your buildings, conserving water, being mindful about how much you throw out, generally taking care of the planet in day-to-day ways. These act as guidelines to help us better understand how we can take care of the world and give us resources to make that possible for businesses, homes, for your every person to be able to contribute as they can. I really like green roofs. Green roof, if you have never heard of this idea, is basically just plants on a roof. Just like Izumi just mentioned, she did some gardening recently to celebrate Earth Day and encouraged you all to do some gardening as well. It is possible to do that work on a rooftop. In New York, for example, even if you have not been there, you are likely aware that real estate is very expensive, that space is very scarce. So the idea of working on roofs is very attractive because roofs generally don't have too much on top of them. So it is still very open. If you are not working in a rural area, the idea of putting plants on a roof to eat, to clean the air, to hold rainwater, to create corridors for insects to pollinate plants, to feed, or birds to nest is a really great idea. It is a very easy idea that does a lot for the planet without interrupting the use of the city. This is, like Izumi mentioned, although everyone is very, very busy, there's so many things to do in a day, this sort of sustainable design is not sustainable just in the sense that it's good for the planet, but that it's good for people as well. When we say sustainable, we want to make sure that the things that we are suggesting people do are doable, that it will not disrupt your life, that it blends well with all the things you do day to day. Green roofs are very sustainable, not only because they are good for the environment, but because you can put them on a building and it does not change the use of the building. So it is a very easy way to do a lot for the planet without upsetting anything else that is happening. For the building itself, when you add plants on the roof, it saves energy because it cools the building. Plants cool the air around them. And when you do that on top of a building, usually you have air conditioners on top of the building. So a normal building usually gets very hot in the summer. But if the plants are cooling the outside of the building is taking in outside air that is already much cooler. It saves a lot of energy, which also saves a lot of money, which is very sustainable for a budget and very sustainable for the planet because you use less power to cool your building. It protects the roof. Usually you have to replace a roof every 20 or so years. With a green roof, it adds a blanket of plants on top to protect it. It insulates, so your roof is warmer in the winter. There's less coming in from the outside elements. It helps to keep things quieter, which is especially valuable in the city where things are very, very loud. It creates value for the building. You can use it as a recreational space, a place to relax, a place for prayer, perhaps, a place to farm. There's a lot of things you can do with more green space on your building. For the city, for the planet, it does lots of other things as well. In many cities around the world, lots of cities were designed a long time ago, before they knew how popular they would be. When a lot of New York was designed, it was many, many years ago before they knew how many millions and millions and millions of people would be there in the future. Even though the city looks different, a lot of the bones of the city are the same. A challenge that many cities have, not just New York, is that when it rains, it floods because the city is not designed to capture all the rainwater. And especially because the rainwater combines with the water that comes out of your homes when you turn on the sink, when you flush the toilet, when you take a bath, when you wash your dishes, all that water goes into the sewer. That water is combined with almost all the rainwater that falls over a city. And when there's too much water in the sewer, it cannot be cleaned and brought back to your homes to be reused again. It has to be released out into open waters, which is bad for the planet. It lets a lot of pollution into the ocean. It hurts fish. It hurts plants. It makes the water unsafe to drink and unhealthy to swim in. So adding more plants and more soil helps to fight against this. It helps to fight against climate change. It helps to capture pollution and capture carbon. It cleans the air. Plants clean the air around them. And this is especially important in cities when you have a lot of people together, a lot of pollution, a lot of traffic. It causes asthma and other breathing disorders to become more frequent because of human conditions. When we add more plants, plants help to clean the air. It helps to cool the air, like I said, and cities especially because there are so many cars and there's so much energy use and there's so much activity and there's so many dark surfaces like asphalt roads and black tar roofs all together. It causes cities to be a lot warmer than the countryside. You probably have experienced this if you've ever been to a city in the summer. It is very, very, very hot. We are able to reduce this by adding more plants that cool the air. This condition is not natural. This is a condition that is engineered by the way people use cities. And it just generally increases the diversity of plants and animals. This is my office. It is the world's most diverse green roof. We have over 45 different types of green roofs on the same building to show different ways that green roofs work in cities. I would be happy to have any of you here to visit in person if you are in New York, or if you are not able to come to New York, you can let me know and we can do a video tour. We started this about 15 years ago, and I actually started working on green roofs a little bit before that. It has been a big passion of mine. I am from New York City, and although I love the diversity of people that come to New York City, I do not like how much construction, how much built environment there is. It's very stressful to me as an environmental scientist to see how few plants there are in the city, because it is not so comfortable to be around, and because I know how bad it is for the environment when you are not living in harmony with nature. The roof is 45,000 square feet, which maybe is a hard number to picture in your imagination, but think about if you've ever been to a sports event, if you've ever been to a stadium, it is about that big. It is huge. As said, I'd be happy to take you on a tour. I can share my email with you if you want to send me a message, and you can reach out to set that up. Here's a before and after. The top picture is what the roof looked like back in the original construction, which was in the mid 80s. There's nothing on top of the roof except for air conditioners and some skylights, not doing anything for the environment. You can actually see a little bit of what we've done to make it a bit better. On the upper picture on the right, you can see the roof surface is black, which gets a lot hotter. Just like if you wear darker colored clothes in the summer, it absorbs sunlight and sends it out as heat. So the left side of the upper picture, you can see that it's painted white, which makes it much cooler. To make the building even better, in the bottom picture, you can see that we've added many, many, many different plants to experiment and to show different ways that we can make a building more sustainable. We have hundreds of people working in this office. We are managing thousands of vehicles. We are doing all different things of a government agency in here, but we can still, even though we are very busy people, do a lot for the planet. We run an urban farm on this building, so we're making vegetables for the community. We capture rainwater so that we do not add too much water into the sewer to keep the city from flooding. We have beehives on a roof. We help pollinators so they can help plants reproduce. We capture carbon to help fight against climate change. We have solar panels, and we have a green roof together to make sure we use as little power as possible to run such a big building. We're able to do the same work that we did in the top picture as we are in the bottom picture. We have found a way to be good to the planet sustainably. Did not upset our budget because all of these things paid themselves back over time because of policies, because of tax rebates, because of grants, because of energy savings. And we are still able to use the building exactly the same, if not even better, because now we have a really amazing green roof. Here it is rather than from above, from the ground. You can see the original roof maybe looks familiar to you if you've ever been on a roof, but it can look so much better and do so much more for the environment at the same time. It's being conscious of your relationship with nature, even in a place as engineered, as expensive, as dense, and as carefully designed as New York. You can still do a lot to make the city a much better place if you are willing to try. As I said before, sometimes we paint the roof white. Maybe you do not have the budget to add a green roof at this time, or maybe it is not right for your building. But even small steps, like just changing the color of your roof, which is very, very inexpensive and very, very easy, does a lot for your building. It cools the building, it cools the city, it helps to make sure that there aren't power outages in your area, because when people all ask to use their air conditioners at the same time, it puts a lot of stress on the energy grid of your city. There's lots of ways that you can make even small steps, and I would be happy to help any of you do this if you would like my or the Parks Department's assistance. You can have a farm on your roof, you can grow plants, you can really do whatever you want. You will, of course, want to make sure that you have permission to use your roof, and you will want to make sure that what you're putting on the roof is not too heavy. But these are very doable steps. To talk perhaps a little bit about this work and how this work goes beyond New York. As Izumi mentioned, I'm currently in Shimane. I make sure that people have opportunities to learn about the sciences, to learn about green roofs, to learn about ways to take care of the planet. A lot of the solutions to saving the planet are not unknown. They are known and they are very well understood and they are very affordable. Really, it just takes the time of day to learn about these things, to understand where you as an individual can improve your life and improve your relationship with the planet. So I appreciate all of you listening to the stream, to taking the time to consciously think about your relationship with the earth. And there are certainly a lot of ways you can do this. The Parks Department, through my division, opens up their doors to take interns, to take people on tours, to take people to work, to take people to have green jobs, such as myself, into the agency to improve the city. My nonprofit, Externships, also pays for people to go out in the field, to go around the world, to Japan, to Hawaii, to Kenya, to Costa Rica, even more locally to New York, to Pennsylvania, to do field work, to get paid experience, to learn that being sustainable, that helping the planet doesn't have to be a hobby, or doesn't have to be a responsibility, but can actually be a real job that can not only feel really good to contribute to, but can support you as a person. If these things are interesting to you, if you're interested in learning more, or if you have more questions, first, I want you not to worry, not to stress that being sustainable, that taking care of the environment is too hard. It is important to maintain a healthy, as we said, sustainable relationship with the environment that is not overwhelming. The planet isn't going anywhere anytime soon, but we are aware that there are a lot of natural disasters happening, that there's a lot of environmental stress that is induced by people, that is caused by people. We need to be mindful of this and we need to do our best to change. That takes time, and slow, steady steps. If you want to learn about these solutions, if you want to investigate how you could be a more conscious member of the planet and find a way to do that that maybe not only helps you in your day-to-day life as well as the world, but also reflects your talents, your own unique individual skills, I would love to discuss with you how this work might be done. You can feel free to email me at nycparks. My email is max, M-A-X, period, Lerner, L-E-R-N-E-R, at parks.nyc.gov. Or if you're interested in paid opportunities to see the world, see Shimane, to learn about how you might practice your skills and talents and get firsthand experience working to take the planet to the next step of sustainability, feel free to go to growexternships.org and you can learn about job opportunities there. I will be available if you have any more questions, and I really appreciate you all, again, taking the time out of your busy lives to practice Shinto, to celebrate the earth, and to do your best to learn more about how you can take care of the environment. Take care and be well. Thank you so much for the time.
ありがとうございました、マックスさん。I hope you learned the way to make a contribution to our planet. Let's take some actions to pay our respect to this planet. I know changing lifestyle is hard and carrying out a really big effort is challenging. But we can start with a very small thing. Many people doing some small things together makes a big impact. This is a conclusion of the Earth Day ceremony, Dear Earth 2022. Our next ceremony is Tsukinami Sai, the monthly ceremony. We renew our respect and gratitude to Kami-sama, nature spirits. It will be held on Sunday, May 1st, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Our eco-sustainable lifestyle is needed now more than ever for worldwide harmony. I hope to see you again at the next ceremony. Stay safe and be well. May the Kami-sama be with you. ありがとうございました。